backgrounds. The background of a card explains the general impression of the current situation. In this section, we will classify the backgrounds that are used often, and explain the meaning of each type. Mountain. One of the most often used background would be the simple solid color. The next one would be the mountains. The mountain that can be seen at the far end of the background usually represents the goal that we are trying to approach. The target may be too far or too high to get there easily, but the fact that we can see it with our own eyes helps us proceed in the right direction. Cloud. The clouds in the blue sky represents that there are something that clouds the sky. There may be an important fact that is veiled to us, or that we may have missed to identify. The fact may simply reveal itself as the cloud disappears with time, or it may suddenly show itself to us one day. If you see some clouds in the background of the card, look around yourself carefully, and think deeply about what you may be missing out. Sea. As the water symbolizes our thoughts and emotions, the blue sea symbolizes the infinitely deep and wide thought and possibilities. The waves express the endless flow of emotion between people, and in contrast to yellow, which symbolizes material prosperity, it symbolizes deep mental richness. However, when the sea is blocking the path to the goal we wish to reach, we are thinking too much to find the right solution. Or it could also symbolize our fear to face the challenge. Village. A village or a city is a place where people gather together. If you see a village in the background of a card, it may mean that many people are related in the matter, possibly in harmony. The harmony is not momentary, but it needs a long stability to reach the status. Therefore, the village is often used as the background for pentacle cards, which symbolizes materialistic prosperity. You need to think where you should proceed, based on such a stable foundation. Ice. The white ice at the peak of a mountain represents that the mountain is so high that it is hard to reach, either by you or by others. Your aim may be too high that you do not even know how to achieve it. On the other hand, you may have been wandered too high up and far away from the world, that you now became alone. This is the high time you should check where you are now and where you want to be. Crop field. Sometimes, in a corner of the background you may find field of crops. The field is a place you can settle down. It is probable that you want a stable life rather than adventurous new challenge. The field will yield as much crop as you put your efforts in it, and so it also implies that you will need to be diligent. Path. A wiggly path across the grass field toward the horizon, literally shows the path that you need to proceed. The road to your goal is not always complex, there are cases that the path is shown right in front of your eyes, and you only need to follow it step by step. Castle, or house. A house or a castle is a place that protects us from outside threats, and a place that we can recover and relax. If you see such a place in the background, it may mean that you need a safe place to hide in. On the contrary, it may also mean that a new event may come to happen, in the place that used to protect you. Animals. The animals in tarot cards often represent the desire in our minds. This section talks about the animals that commonly shows up. Lion. A lion symbolizes a great power. A lion is usually painted with reddish color that represents great passion in our minds. Traditionally, a lion used to be drawn on the crest of an honored family, and so it came to symbolizes the power and authority in tarot cards. In addition, a lion is one of the creatures that worship God sitting around his throne in the Book of Revelation, and so it sometimes symbolizes God's will as well. Fish. Fish is an animal living in water. Therefore, a fish is an animal that gives life to the emotion, which water symbolizes. Water does not have specific shape or will in itself, but fish provides the water its own shape and will. A fish tells you that you should pursue your own passion and dreams based on your emotion and thoughts. Horse. All the cards of knights feature different colored horses. A horse running forward symbolizes the driving force that pushes us forward. Even when a horse is standing still, it can still provide the authority to the person sitting upon it. Snake. A snake is often a symbol of mishap, possibly due to the famous incident with Adam and Eve. The snake in general symbolizes the earthly desire or greed. But there are cases that it is treated positively. A Neuroboros, a snake that is biting its own tail, shaping a circle, symbolizes endless circulation and perfection. Lizard. A lizard often shows up in the card of wands. Lizards in tarot are generally colored black upon yellow backgrounds, and they often symbolize new start and cycle, probably because a lizard can cut off its tails and start anew. A lizard in round shape biting its own tails reinforces such meaning. In addition, a lizard also represents salamander, a spirit of fire, which fits well with the power of wands, which has the element of fire. Bird. A bird is an animal that can fly freely in the blue sky. Therefore, a bird symbolizes the hope to achieve a higher ideal. A white dove, especially, symbolizes the prospect and promise. And an eagle or a hawk symbolizes great power and authority. Butterfly. A butterfly is a creature that lives most of its youth on the ground, but flies into the sky when it reaches its adulthood. A butterfly connects the materialistic world symbolized by earth, and the mental world symbolizes by the sky. If you find a butterfly flying in a corner of a card, you need to look back whether you are not too obsessed with materialistic desire, that you are not tending to your mental needs for stability. Dog. A man's best friend, a dog, starts the journey with us from the card of the Fool. It is a companion that walks through our journey together, and a friend that we can trust. If you see a dog in tarot cards, you may need to think of people who you can rely on, and who you can give help to. Sphinx. A sphinx is well known as the character that keeps the entrance to pyramids. It has powerful body of a lion, and wise brain of human, and its feet are touching the ground, while its wings can spread into the sky. It symbolizes the balance and harmony between our inner and outer powers. Plants. The plants in tarot cards usually represent the nature and the fruits of our works. Compared to the animals, which symbolize our innermost desire, the plants symbolize the prosperity around us. Grape. A grape is symbolized by abundant vines and the fruit, composed of many smaller pieces. So it is obvious that the grape is a symbol of abundance, and so it goes well with pentacles, which represents materialistic prosperity. A grape is also the main ingredient of wine, meaning that the grape does not only symbolize current fruits, but it also represents the possibility to come. Crop. Crops are the result of our effort, and so it also represents abundance and prosperity. A wheat field colored with golden yellow, does not only tells us that it overflows with materialistic prosperity, but it also implies that many people have put their effort in the crops, in order to achieve what we have today. Flower. While a fruit symbolizes the result, the flower symbolizes the first step toward the goal. In addition, a bouquet of flowers represents a gift to show affection toward other person. Therefore, a flower often symbolizes hope and new beginning, and love and peace as well. Ironically, the Knight of Death in Death card holds a black flag with large flower drawn on it. Flowers that often appear in tarot cards are red roses for passion, and white lilies for purity. Sunflower. The sunflower is often said to look toward the sun, and so it tells us where the sun is. Sometimes, the sunflower represents the sun itself. It can be interpreted as a guide that leads us toward the goal.